Okay, so we're learning about point of view. The very first thing I want you to do is write your name on page 61. And then today's date is the 7th. We're going to talk about two different kinds of point of view. Now, typically there's three, but we're not going to be focusing on the second person point of view. We're only going to be focusing on first person point of view and third person point of view. So, very first thing I want you to do is highlight point of view. It says point of view is the narrator's position in relation to the story being told. It shows the opinion or feelings of the individuals involved in a situation. Point of view is the way the author allows the reader to hear or see what is happening. I like that. Point of view is the way the author allows the reader to hear and see what is happening.
If I could just personally remind non-certified staff that I would like your timesheet by the end of today, please. All non-certified staff, I would like your timesheet by end of today. Thank you.
Okay. So it says, an author chooses the point of view to use, and this influences, it's under the table, influences the information given and how events are described in the story. Our very first point of view we're going to be really analyzing and focusing on is first person. In first person, the narrator is a character. Yes, the narrator is a character. So if I am writing a diary, so if I am writing about myself in the diary, I am also the character. If I'm talking about myself, remember I come first, so it'll be first person. It makes the reader feel close to the character telling the story. It helps the reader see the story through the character's eyes. And what they mean by that is, if you come across my diary and you read my feelings, it'll make you involved with my feelings. You'll know exactly how I'm feeling. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. All right. What the reader knows and understands is limited to what the character knows and understands. Now, you may know how I'm feeling when you read my diary, but are you going to know everyone else's feelings? No. So if I tell you, I came to school today and I really wished I didn't because Kevion was getting on my nerves and he looked really grumpy the entire time. Now, I told you how I felt, but do you know how Kevion felt? No, you can't base that off of the things that I'm saying because I'm not Kevion. I'm telling you about myself. So it's only limited to what I tell you, what I want you to know about myself, okay? And the key words that you can use for this is I, me, my, we, myself. Yes, sir.
When me and July was in first grade, when we was doing reading, we did the same thing like this, but we didn't highlight it because we didn't have any highlighters.
Okay, I'm big on highlighting. I feel like it makes it stand out and it helps a lot. One thing you need to know is that when we're talking about first person, it's usually whenever you see a diary or a journal. If you're wanting to write your life story, that's called an autobiography. That means you're writing it yourself. That's whenever you'll usually see the I, me, my, myself, and we. Okay. So we're going to go back here shortly with the example. We're going to read our narrative stories, but we're going to go ahead and dive into third person real quick, and then I'll let you guys figure out the point of view for each narrative. So I want you to turn to the next page, and you're going to see third person. Third person point of view. So So third person, it's your usual story. The narrator is not a character. For instance, when we read Esperanza Rising, was Esperanza talking about herself? No, someone was talking about her. Very good. The narrator tells a story like a camera recording the events. That's kind of like I want everyone to see a day in the life of a student. So I'm going to take my camera and I'm going to start recording everyone, right? But am I involved? No. You might as well leave that door open. Okay. The story might be told through the experiences of a particular character or many characters. It is possible for the reader to know and understand more than any one character would know. So, when we read Esperanza, did we know how Esperanza felt?
No.
Yes. Did we know how Mama felt? Remember, she was worried. She was sick. Did we know how Hortensia felt? Yeah, we did. She was also worried, remember? So we got to see more than one character. When we did first person, we knew exactly how that one person felt. Yes.
Was it Josephine or Hortensia when the immigration speech started?
Yeah. So you can, in a third person point of view, you're going to get to see how everyone else is feeling and what they're saying. Does that make sense? Okay, and your keywords for that is he, she, it, they, him, her, and there's more. If you have someone else's name, that's all keywords to a third person. Okay, so here is what you're going to do. You are going to get the dreaming tree, and you're going to figure out, based off of this first paragraph, if it's first person or third person. Now, what I want you to do is, as you're reading this paragraph, I want you to highlight the key words that you see to help you figure that out. I'm going to give you 3 minutes. You can work with a partner. And I've got the first person notes on the board. So it's 117 by 120. I'll ask you here, what you're doing is you're getting the dreaming tree, and you're going to highlight keywords from the dreaming tree to figure out if it's first person or third person. Yeah. So you're going to need to use pages 61 and 62 to figure out which one is first person and third person. Don't worry about the example. Right now you're trying to figure out if the dreaming tree is in first person or third person. All you're doing is highlighting keywords to help you figure out if that story is in first person or third person. You got 2 more minutes. So Darius has got it. Good job, Kevion. Yes. Y'all are getting it. Okay, once you have seen those keywords, what I want you to do is inside your desk, I want you to hold up 1 if you think it's first person, or 3 if you think it's third person.
I gotta hold up this.
Again, once you have figured out the third, first, or second, or third person point of view, I want you to hold up those numbers in your desk. I know Kevion's following instructions. I know Rihanna. Nope, not yet. Thank you, Darius. Okay, when I say go, I want you to whisper shout what person point of view it is. Are you ready? So when we whisper shout, we're going, Mrs. Trout. Are you ready? And go. If you said third person, you're exactly right. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to go to where it says third person. And underneath third person, we're going to write the title of what you just said, The Dreaming Tree. Why am I putting quotation marks around the Dreaming Tree? It's a title. And what did you notice that I did with every letter of I capitalized?
Except for the small word.
Right. And the only reason why I capitalized we normally don't, it's the very first one, right? So if you noticed where it says example, what it wants you to do is prove that the Dreaming Tree is third person. And what is something you can do to prove that? Kevion? Read the sentence until you see a third person point of view word. And I noticed that the very first word is actually has it. It's got young boy. It's got Uweka. It's got his grandfather. He was kind. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy a couple of those sentences that prove that the Dreaming Tree is stated in third person point of view.
You never said his.
We can put his. You can add on. Okay, so that's a good point. So under the example, we're going to copy a couple sentences that prove that the Dreaming Tree was told from a third person point of view.
Miss Trout?
Yes, ma'am.
Hey, have parents coming down with treats?
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Your birthday.